he didn't want to make music that was like video game music. He wanted to make movie music, like an actual proper soundtrack.
Cool.
And I think a lot of that music, that shows, because you can listen to it now, and even 20 years later, a lot of this music is still really, really impressive, really awesome.
Well, it's funny because I think the last time you were on the show, I remember talking about the music, and when me and my sister were little, we would like make up lyrics to random songs because we were just strange.
Nice.
But yeah, the music in these games has always been so great.
And right here, what you see in the background, if you pay attention, actually, the death egg is rising up as we're progressing, and you'll see the egg bots flying out of it as it goes up through the clouds. Now, you saw those signs there, and the sign is actually a pretty cool feature. It is optional, first off, so if you want to turn it off, you can. But Sonic games, as they progress through 3D, face the challenge of how do you kind of raise the difficulty through the later stages without adding these bottomless pits.
Right.
And so the bottomless pits are kind of frustrating because you just die, and so in a platformer game it's understandable, but still it is a little frustrating when you're going from doing really well to just death. So we've added these signs to let you know anytime a bottomless pit is near to kind of watch out because you got one coming up. So
I really appreciate that, and call me what you will if I'm not hardcore enough. But I really could have used that 10 years ago.
Bottomless pits get you, Jeff.
that really would have been super helpful back then.
Game looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single level has been essentially reimagined in HD, and then this is the classic level right here as Classic Sonic. Now this level is completely different from what modern Sonic will play, and so I'm going to show you guys modern Sonic after this, and you'll see just how different it is. These clouds, one of my favorite parts of the original level, and you get to bounce on these again.
That's awesome.
And if we can pull this off, almost made it up there. But there are multiple paths, and that's another key feature of any good Sonic game, just like Sonic 4, is you've got your high path, your medium path, your low path, and the trick is to kind of figure out, can you stay on the high path? Can you manage to keep it up for a long time? These, some Sonic fans might recognize. Let's see if I can pull this off. What we want to do here is take this, and as it's falling apart, we want to get up a little bit further. I'm going to try and make it here. There we go.
Nice.
So Classic Sonic here has just that spin dash. He's got the jump. He doesn't have the homing attack. So that is something that I think the purist fans will appreciate over Sonic 4, is that he doesn't have the homing attack. He plays just like the Genesis games in that regard.
So is there any gameplay difference in terms of his feature set going from modern to classic?
Completely. It's a completely different set. It's, actually, the levels themselves are built very differently just for each Sonic. So.
Gotcha.
So all those Genesis fans, I think, will really appreciate the classic Sonic. A lot of people that might not have played many of them were the newer 3D games, just because for whatever reason or another, they decided I didn't want to touch the 3D Sonic. They'll certainly love this because this is going to feel very familiar to them. Now, at the same time, I think a lot of the younger audience that really started with the 3D games or enjoyed this quite a bit will probably come into this saying, "Oh, what's this 2D stuff? I don't know about this," and then they'll go out of it saying, "Wow, all those old guys on the internet that said it was really good, they had something there." So
they weren't crazy.
It'll have mutual appreciation on both sides, I think, after that. Yeah.
Now, is this the first non-DLC Sonic game for PS3 and 360?
It is not. Sonic Unleashed was before that. Now, Sonic Unleashed, though, was kind of it was very polarizing for people because it had these daytime levels that everyone loved. The daytime levels were fantastic, and then it had the Werehog. And the Werehog, either you loved it or you hated it, pretty much. So there was a lot of hate going on for that. So what we've taken for the modern stages here, and this is one of my favorite parts of the level right here, by the way.
That is so cool.
The modern parts of Sonic Generations pull a little bit from the daytime levels of Unleashed, and also they pull from Sonic Colors. So it's like the best of Sonic in 3D. That formula has become what is the modern here. So that was classic.
So how different is a stage in 3D versus 2D? I guess you'll probably show that to us.
Yep, I will. I'll just let you see it. Yeah.
Look at this guy getting A's, trying to show off here.
Hey, I don't get A's, man. I get S. No, I'm kidding. Sonic, but if you were in 3D, everything is just blazing by, and it's a really cool experience. You're gonna notice that these levels are typically much faster paced because of the boost that we've got, and that's the bottom left corner right there. So when I hit the boost, that's X. We get that blue aura around Sonic, and he goes crazy fast.
Cool.
And he can do those tricks while he's in there, right?
He can.
And that helps with boost?
It does. The tricks will refill the boost.
Gotcha.
Now, the gameplay mechanics look kind of similar to Colors,
They are.
which is a good thing, because Colors was awesome.
Yeah, Colors is a great game.
Yes. Yep, so yeah, as mentioned, it's very much a sort of hybrid of Colors and Unleashed, and then they've improved the formula from there, and the result is this. So it's come out really well.
Now, are the wisps still present in the 3D version?
It's a good question. The wisps you won't see in any of these levels because we're looking at a level from Sonic and Knuckles at this point.
Okay.
So wisps, in terms of history, have not appeared yet. Will wisps appear in the future? That's a good question. Maybe if there's a Sonic Colors level, you might see wisps.
Cool.
Who knows? So what I'm trying to do right now is get to the high path. There we go. And the boost that I'm using here is kind of it's a double-edged sword, because you can't just hold boost to win, as I've seen people on our forums, try to say, those naysayers. It actually requires a lot of skill to use boost effectively and often. So the trick is that as you play more, as you practice, just like the original Sonic games, as your skill improves, you can complete the levels much, much faster. You can get your time down. And then, of course, you can see how you fare against other people on the internet.
Man, you are good. It's like therapeutic watching you play.
It's very, very relaxing.
It should be a calming experience, yeah. Awesome. So here is another area where we've got multiple different paths. Actually, every single level in this game, both as classic and as modern, has multiple paths in almost every variation, and they'll converge and they'll split up again. Let's see if I can make it. There we go.
Were you switching back and forth on your own just now, or that's just part of the way the path goes?
That's the way the camera pans.
Oh, okay.
So right here, it's got us into like a Sonic Colors style. And if I can stop this guy from pushing that button. So if you don't stop him fast enough, he'll actually block this section of the level off, and you have to go above, which is going to take a little bit longer. But right here, we get that shortcut.
Oh, wow.
Now, the original level, and just like the end of the classic level, everything was kind of falling apart. So in the modern version, you're going to see a different take on that. As the level starts to fall apart right up here, everything starts to crumble. It's got a really kind of cool take on what if this level were brought back as a 3D level, and also what could we do in the modern levels was the dev team's. This is Seaside Hill. We're playing as Classic Sonic first. This level is one of my favorites in the game, actually, just because it references a number of other levels in Sonic games of old. So if I can pull this off, let's see. Wait for it. Oh, almost. What we're going to do, if you can stay to the high path, you can stay out of the water. At this point, we're just going to go for a little undersea adventure here.
Yeah, this is giving me that sort of labyrinth zone
yes.
feel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you guys ready to feel a little scared?
Oh, here we
Can
go.
we turn up the music? Just wait. Wait for it. All the Sonic fans about to start panicking.
Yep.
There we go.
Ah.
You guys think I should get
I
in that bubble?
remember this. I'm starting to hyperventilate a
I
little
should
bit.
probably get a bubble, huh?
Get
Bubble?
it.
Should I?
Let's hear
should
the
I, should I get that
nervous.
bubble? I don't. Okay. All right.
So I love how they like reorchestrated that panic.
Yes.
Does he still do that little animation where he sucks up the bubble?
He
Because I
doesn't completely
think
suck up.
when you're jumping, it doesn't show up. But I think when you're standing, maybe it does, or at least in the old games.
Yeah, we can try that. When he jumps and grabs it, what happens is he kind of he opens his mouth a little bit and
Yeah.
sucks it up. Yeah. Yeah, that music I think is perhaps one of the most traumatic songs for a lot of us in our
Oh my god,
childhood.
it's
Like,
nerve-wracking.
you're in the pool, right, and you hear that song, and like your immediate reaction is, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I gotta get up. I gotta get out.
I don't care if I'm in 3 feet of water. I
I need to get out of the pool right now.
Get out.
So it's funny. I had a discussion with the guy not long ago about that. It really is interesting how that music has such a lasting impression on us. Even that little short clip, but it's got a very Jaws-ish vibe,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, to
Yeah,
it
yeah.
when you hear it. So
It's not comforting at all.
no, it's really not.
No.
A lot of tension.
Now this part of the level is fun because it helps me remind people that Sonic is really not all about speed. Sonic is about platforming.
Sure.
And when you're underwater with the slow motion platforming there, it's a good reminder that the practice is what it takes to kind of stay to the faster high path. Right now, this song will be familiar.
Oh yeah. This is the invincibility shield. Where
Yeah,
you
it
can
is.
just like
Yep.
take down anyone that gets in your way.
So as we're going through here, let's see. Now these red platforms are ones that will actually fall down. So what I want to do is jump on it right about here. There we go. And pull it off. Got it.
Nice.
So the first time you go on those, typically you'll jump on it really quickly and it'll fall before you have a chance to jump to the next platform. So the trick is to actually wait till it goes a little further and then jump on it. But as with all things in many levels, it takes some practice to nail it. And that's kind of how it should be. I enjoy the fact that it does take some practice to get to the best paths in any Sonic
For
game.
sure.
So these cannons are kind of cool. They were in the original level, and the cannons themselves kind of would fire you across, and they've brought them back. So every level sort of has its iconic features, its iconic gimmicks from back in the day, and they've tried to recreate all of those in this version of the game. So let's see if we can pull this part off. Perfect. Now, even though Classic Sonic never technically went through this level, what you'll find is that there are references to other levels hidden in it. I need to get to the low path. Let's see here.
So do you play this game in its infancy stages and sort of suggest what you think will make it better, or
Yeah, a lot of
how
people,
does that work?
A lot of people at Sega actually sort of offer feedback and improvement. We have lots of teams that do that. So my voice is one of many voices at Sega that all work really hard, and we all kind of offer feedback to try and suggest this might make it better, that might make it better.
Very cool.
And to their, especially to their credit too, the team in Japan does a fantastic job of really coming up with good ideas that make fans go, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So we've got these giant wheels trying to kill us here. Let's keep going. There we go. And though I took the high path, if you take the low path in this level, if you guys remember Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the second level in that game was the water level called Hydrosity. And in the very beginning of the level, you get pushed by this water current, and Sonic would grab on these little poles.
Right.
If you take the low path, there's a section just like that in this level.
Oh, and they sort of like
and
swoop in.
Yeah, and he has to hold on to the poles, and the poles will break because of the current.
And does he shimmy up so he won't?
Yeah, he does. He does
right.
shimmy up.
I remember that.
It's kind of awesome. So every level has these little references to previous games, and maybe the younger generation won't notice it as much, but I think all the hardcore Sonic fans and all of us that are a bit older
will appreciate it.
The older fans,
that's really cool.
Oh man! So here's another take on the same level, Seaside Hill. This time we're as modern Sonic. We've got the boost. We're going very fast. Right here, we've got multiple different paths we can take. I'm going to go on the left path because I practiced on this one a little bit more. So the music also is different, and it's not as easy to pick up, but this is going to be like the guitar modern version of it. And every level has two different tracks to it. You've got your modern version of the song, and then you've also got your classic version of the song. And some of the classic versions actually were written and composed and worked on by other people that were Sonic fans. So in one case, we've got one of the guys who did the Sonic Colors theme song, and he helped contribute with some of the City Escape remixes. And in that remix, as fans have noticed, at Sonic Boom, which was our big E3 party, he snuck in the melody to one of the Sonic 3 multiplayer levels called Endless Mine. And it was very cleverly worked in, and the fans noticed it and immediately picked up on it, saying, oh my gosh, whoever put that in there is amazing. So,
there was a band that did the theme song for Sonic Colors, or that was a different...
That same band. It's the younger brother in that band. He's a massive Sonic fan.
Oh, wow.
And so I got to nerd out with him and found out he did that remix, and I was like, that was you? You put that Endless Mine thing in there? Gosh, that's awesome.
That's super cool.
It's really neat because of the simple aspect that we've got Sonic fans that are working on this 20th anniversary game with the older generation. So Sonic Generations in one way is, the two generations of Sonic. In another way, it is the two generations of fans. And in another way, it's also the different generations of people that are working on it. They grew up as fans, and they're now trying to, kind of leaving their mark on Sonic, if you will, working with the old crew.
Many meanings behind the title.
Yes, there definitely are. So as we speed through here, let's see, I'm going to slow down. This part, we can go different paths depending on what we do.
That's cool.
I want to wait for the cart, and then I want to boost right through there. Let's go. There we go. Got it. Now, if I get the turtle, that means I go the very slow route. You can see on the bottom there, actually, it's a lot of heavy platforming. In this case, we're just going to jump on our little go-kart and go.
Oh, that's awesome.
We can boost in this, yeah.
Sonic Kart.
So, yeah, little Sonic and Sega All-Stars vibe going on here.
I feel like Sonic would be too cool for a car.
Yeah, he would run faster than it.
I feel like he doesn't really need the car. It's mostly for style points.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we can go off the ramps, get extra rings here. This path is it's much faster to go through this path as opposed to trying to platform. So, and then he just destroys the car at the end. He didn't really need it anyway. He just trashed it. Insurance rates are terrible, but so we've got the grinding going on, and then the wall running. Whoa,
oh wow,
running,
that's
Sonic.
tough.
Got it. Perfect. So we're on the high path right here. This one's kind of tricky. Let's see if we can pull it off. Nice. So we're wall jumping in between here. Keep going. Nice. So the pillars come down. We've got to try and quickly get across. There we go. Perfect. Now those red rings you saw there, you can collect those. Just like in Sonic Colors, you can collect those. In this game, they offer a number of different unlockables. Those are the fun unlockables I can't talk about just yet, but trying to get run over here. Oof. All right. Go very quickly. All right. Just in the nick of time, and that's the end of that level.
Cool.
So there's Seaside Hill. That's modern Sonic.
So when you're playing as 3D